Yeah.
Alex is back.
I'm back, everybody.
He had a troublesome week last week.
I was a little sick. Puking on myself.
Oh, man. Don't want to get too graphic.
We are back. Episode number 28. Jonathan's back behind the boards. We are thankful for that.
Hello.
Episode number 28. Let's recap. You were gone, and then I was gone.
Yes.
It's been like 4 episodes.
It's been a little bit, so we got a lot to talk about. Talked about? We got a lot to talk about.
Hey, we got a lot to talk about. And they're always after me Lucky Charms.
What? Me and Alex have had a eventful morning.
Yes.
You guys been busy?
Oh, we've been super busy.
It's good.
How-to video.
Somebody has to around here.
Did we get that? Did you get one done today?
Yes, both of us did. It's a matter of editing now. And we'll
You
be done.
both got one done?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh. Just so you guys know what we're talking about, if you're watching or listening, we're starting to do how-to videos.
Let's talk about something else as well. For those people that are listening to us on YouTube, exciting news that I don't think we've explained to the world.
No.
I don't think we have either.
You want to do it? You want to do it?
No,
You
go
wanna do
ahead.
it?
I don't want to do it.
So we started doing these how-to videos, but we also started doing our podcast on multi-different platforms. So the platforms that we're on now would be YouTube, obviously, podcast, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, Spotify. What's the other one? Podbeam? Are we on
Amazon.
Podbean. We're on
Amazon Music.
We're on Podbean.
Yeah, so we're on multiple different
Boom.
platforms now. You can find it on the website to where to listen to it. So if you don't necessarily just want to listen off of YouTube, maybe if you have your dedicated Apple Podcast playlist or your iHeartRadio nailed down, add us to your downloaded or playlist or any of that category, and you're able to listen to us there. So hopefully, we try to keep these around 30 minutes long. We figure, if your drive to work, it's with 30 minutes. If you're going to work out, you got a 30-minute gym sesh, the whole 9 yards as far as that goes.
You can listen to us yabber.
Yes. And we're trying to make this a little more eventful for you guys. We have some different things and ideas that we're going to be bringing here.
Yep, different people.
Yep, different people, different perspectives. We also will be doing, in the future, we're going to be doing some live events or reactions to, Apple's events, which I think are going to be super epic. And we're excited to do some of that. So there's a lot of new stuff coming, but the podcast on multi-different platforms is out. And I'm very excited about, Jonathan and Alex have hammered down on these how-to videos, which will give you guys instructional things to do on your iPhone, from how to, take a screenshot to how to save some storage on your phone, how to listen to music, customize the screen. And there's a lot of new stuff coming out like that. So we're excited to, we want to provide those Apple products to everyone, but we also want to provide you some sense
knowledge.
of knowledge.
How to work it.
Yeah. How to buy products, and then also how to fix them and work on them and all that too. So I'm pretty excited about that.
I was just in a la-la land for a second.
You're good.
I'm like, I wonder
back.
if I pressed record on anything. And I did.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Good.
So it's a good start.
Well, last week we had a little issue with that. Press and record on the video. So last week we didn't get the video form out for you guys, but we still got the recording form because there's something happened with our video there.
I want to start 28. I prompted ChatGPT, which I know we talk about a lot on here. You out of water?
I stay stacked with water.
Oh,
I got a new
have
water
to.
bottle.
Have to.
I just got this new one. It fits in my book
it is a
bag
new
side.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It like the
It's very
sleeve
sleek.
of the side of the book bag.
It's very
Ooh,
sleek.
Well, I normally
like
have a big
glove.
handle, like one of those. Yeah, this one just slips right in there.
You gotta have a straw too. If you don't have a straw on your
Well,
water bottle,
a lot of people think that's like not the way to go for a straw, but I like a straw.
Why would it not be the way
People
to go?
make fun. I've heard
They
people make
make
fun
fun
of
of me
people
all
with
they
I
straws.
make
I
fun
will
of
have
people
a
who
straw.
drink water.
okay, well that's your
Well,
problem.
you're.
That's more of a thing. That's
that's like a personal
self-reflection
issue.
problem.
But anyways,
Anyways,
let's get on track.
I asked ChatGPT a certain question, and I want to tell you the beginning of its prompt. Okay? It said, if Apple products had never been invented, so that was the question. If Apple products had never been invented, this is episode 28. It's called What If? And we're going to talk about what if.
Okay.
If Apple products had never been invented, the world would look significantly different in terms of technology, design, and cultural impact. Here are some changes that might occur. And it gave me these different prompts. and we're going to kind of go through these, which I try to get into the world of Apple more and more every single day, right? Having this podcast. I thought I was an Apple nerd, but I don't know everything about Apple.
Oh, it makes you think that you don't know. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, wow.
We say something, or I'll hear something, the text talk about something. I'm like, is that even Apple? Like, what are
Yeah.
we doing?
Is that even
Apple? Technology landscape was the first category it gave me. It said smartphones. The iPhone revolutionized the smartphone industry with its touchscreen interface and app ecosystem. That wasn't Android. That was Apple. Without Apple, the rise of smartphones might have been slower or taken a different direction, potentially dominated by companies like Nokia, BlackBerry, or Microsoft at the time. Tablets, the iPad set the standard for tablets, making them widely popular. Without it, tablets may not have become ambiguous.
Just skip it. We don't know that one.
And then personal computers. Apple's focus on user-friendly interfaces or interfaces designs, Macintosh, shame modern computing. With Apple, PCs might remain less intuitive or visually appealing. And then wearables. The Apple Watch and AirPods help normalize wearables as a mainstream products. Their absence could mean slower adaptation to these devices. Now, design philosophy. This is where it got interesting, right? Aesthetics and minimalization. Apple's emphasis on sleek, minimalist design influenced countless industries. Without Apple, tech devices might focus more on functionality more than aesthetics. User experiences. Apple pioneered the idea of seamless, intuitive user experiences. Without focus, technology could be more complex or clunky. And the reason I'm kind of going into this what if piece is because there is going to be a special guest. I'm having Mr. Brian Mulvaney had accepted to come on, a good friend of mine, and he is an avid Android user. I try not to text him because of the whole green text bubble issue.
We have our opinions.
We have our opinions, but he is going to be coming on here. So I kind of want to touch base on what everything that Apple started and then what he thinks is better with Android. Cultural impact, talking about pop culture and creative industries. Apple's focus on tools for creatives, MacBooks, iPads, Final Cut Pro, reshaped industries like design, music, and film. Without these tools, workflows would be drastically different. Tech cultural moments. So, and then ecosystem thinking, environmental, blah, 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 blah. You know how I feel about environmental. Yep. I don't drink water. So, with that being said, let's talk about what if. What if, okay, let's talk about personal life. What if Apple didn't exist for you?
I would,
That's a good question, actually.
Oh, man. If Apple did not exist, obviously we wouldn't be in business.
Yeah.
So we would never be talking about this. But maybe there would have been a different tech company. I think Apple was a great company, but I think in 2007 when the iPhone came out, it entirely changed everything.
Yeah.
From touchscreen specifically.
To the app ecosystem. If it wasn't app ecosystem, how do you think we would use phones?
Explain what you mean.
Yeah.
So the app ecosystem, as in we pull up our phones, it's touchscreen, and there are apps for different things.
Right.
That Apple invented that.
Correct, because that wasn't a thing before. There was no touchscreen before. Now they did have, I guess,
you open up your phone and there's no icons.
What did they have like on the BlackBerry back in the day where you could scroll to it? What were those?
Applications.
They were so there was some form of the app, but they're not touch app and then open up, and it definitely didn't open up like Facebook or Mail or Google would now.
Do you think that other companies like Nokia or BlackBerry they wouldn't have
because
that is a sleek Apple modern design.
They would not have gotten to where Apple is today. Apple changed the course for everything when it comes to iPhone, iPad, Mac. It's an entirely different standard. They innovated incredibly within the past 10 years. Now, I do think that in 2007 when the iPhone came out, I think we were 5 years away from somebody else coming out with something. But Apple did it so much better, and they did it first. And then from there, when you think about the tablet, there is no tablet that Surface Pro is not there compared to an iPad Pro.
When somebody says, okay, so think very rigidly on this. When somebody says an older generation of like your parents or something, do they say, no, I didn't bring my tablet? Or do they say, no, I didn't bring my iPad? Whether it's a tablet or an iPad.
iPad is a universal word for tablet.
Yes.
Even if you don't have a tablet, you give your kids a
Kindle
or something.
Now, my mother, who we talk about a lot in here, she says her computer.
We love Alex's mom.
She says computer.
Just a computer?
For an iPad?
I mean, she's not too far away. It is a computer system.
Because that's what she uses for a computer.
she computes on it. But I think that iPad is the universal word for tablet in general. Like, grab your iPad, get your iPad. Where's your iPad?
Yeah.
Like, it's not tablet, even though it's under the category of tablet. It's definitely iPad, no matter what it is, Amazon tablet or whatever. It's grab your iPad. It's just it's sort of changed the curse on that, especially with, and watch. Everybody thinks Apple Watch is the same way. Apple Watch is 10x what Android Watch wants to be, or a
If
Fitbit.
there is one, I don't even know if there is one.
They have some Samsung watch, but it's nowhere near what the Apple Watch can do. Now, it's entirely different. Apple tends to create trends like that, and then people follow, and sometimes, things have been beat, like the Vision Pro. I don't think I will hate on that every day, because I don't think it's there, and I think their price point and everything was wrong. But I think the Oculus might be the same idea, but you get it for a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
So Apple tends to create the top of the line every single time. And with the iPhone, I think they started that, and they've continued that, especially when it comes to computers. I mean, the MacBook Pro over any other computer out there that's not Apple's, and it's two different worlds.
We talked about with the ChatGPT prompt, it talked about how Apple came with a futuristic minimalist design, right? Do you think that you, with strictly Apple, I mean, you have branding, right? And it's modern and it's minimal. Do you do that everything in your life? Do you think that came from, think that came from Apple? Like from your home, how you decorate your bedroom, to how you keep the inside of your car, to do you think that strives from Apple?
Gotta have a clean car.
Yeah. No, I think you're probably right on there somewhere, because Apple, before Apple, there was a lot of different, advertisements and stuff like that. Apple's really simple. They'll play the thing and then just put the logo at the end. Their logo, that's all they need. They don't need a name. In the beginning, they had the name until they got so big, you don't need the name. And that's what most companies do, is they have the name until you realize what the logo is, then they do the logo. Same thing with a lot of different companies do that. But Apple is super minimalist. That's why you see a lot of different sites. There's a lot of stuff up on there. There's garbage, there's advertisements. I specifically, because it is Apple, we're strictly Apple, I want to look branded for Apple. So that's why you went that way. Steer that way, for sure.
Okay, so ecosystem thinking. Here's another piece that came in through the ChatGPT prompt. Apple popularized tightly integrated hardware-software ecosystems. The tech industry might lean more towards open systems in a world without Apple. And I know that's going to be a very big highlight when we do talk to Mr. Mulvaney about being open system. It's they said tech industry might lean towards more of an open system without Apple. So if we didn't have Apple, everything would be more open sourced, open software.
So, and I think that's something that Apple works very well with itself.
Yeah.
I believe that Apple is trying to work very well with others, because they realize that even if you don't have an iPhone, you still need to commute with someone that does.
Yeah.
With the green text messages, now you can see when they read it. That's one big step.
Massive.
FaceTiming in Android.
It's like we're going to the moon. That's one big step.
Yeah, it is one big step, right? And then, but the FaceTiming in Android, your device becoming much more customizable, like we did the how-to video on, with colors, with app orientation, where they lie on the screen, and then also with just things that you can do on your phone entirely, from hiding apps. You didn't used to be able to do that. I do think the customization part maybe was learned or was taught to Apple by Android, because Android was much more customizable. But with Apple fixing that and changing it, I think the iPhone is a lot more customizable now.
Now, I've been thinking about that as you're talking about it. Why now? Do you think it's because Apple didn't come out with anything hardware lately? Because we've been asking for it for over 10 years, a lot of these things.
Yeah. And I think when Apple does it, they want it to be perfect. They never drop the third camera until the third camera was ready to be dropped.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's something where we'll do this, and phones before that had cameras, multiple cameras, right?
Right.
And Apple was just the one camera, and then they had the two camera with the X, right? They were combined in one. Now they have the separate. Now they have the three. Apple doesn't do something until it's perfected. They never put out junk. Even with the cheapest device they have, AirPods, or, I would say that's the cheapest accessory device that you would buy. AirPods are very, very inexpensive, $100, $120 for a pair of AirPods, but they're top notch for that. Yeah. They're not going to put out a pair of $29 wireless AirPods. That won't happen because they're not going to allow. They won't even make it through the 1-year warranty type of deal.
Right.
But when Apple puts something out, they will take the time, even if they're behind their competitors, and they will make sure that it gets done properly so that when they push that, it's a game the whole entire time.
What do you think wearable tech would be like without Apple?
I do. When you think about wearable tech, initially you're going to think for Apple Watch. Then you're going to think for
AirPods
the
for me,
AirPods.
yeah.
Outside of that, what do they have?
iPhone?
Is it wearable?
No.
It's
Yeah.
tech.
Yeah, because I got one of those cool. If I ever go to the gym, I got one of those cool
gosh.
armbands. You know, that put your phone on your arm.
That's insane.
No, Landon, I don't think there is another one.
I don't think there's anything outside of that as far
They
as.
had Nike. Remember the Nike clip you put on your shoe?
But it's not wearable. It's not naturally wearable.
Oh,
You
that's
have
true.
to get accessories to
That's
wear
true.
it.
Sorry.
It's like a MacBook could be wearable if I duct tape it to my stomach. Like that's not.
Why don't we?
You know what I mean?
Next
like this is
episode.
a wearable tech. But the idea with that is Apple makes things very good. Now one thing that, and I think me and Jonathan talked about it on the last one, or maybe a couple ago. One thing that Apple has fell behind on is I think glasses is going to be huge.
Yeah. This is the last episode.
Why didn't you wear them right now?
Can you grab those? They're sitting on my desk in my office. They're in a brown container. Those glasses that Apple or that Meta has made with the camera, and we're about to bring them and show you guys. So stay tuned for the next couple minutes on this. But those glasses they're really, really nice. You can listen to music. You can
Take phone calls.
take phone calls. You can
Prompt.
videos, pictures. I did one of my short films yesterday, TikToks, on my Meta glasses. It was extremely cool. The quality was there. And with the way Meta is now, and I don't know, I sent that video to you last night, Alex. We were able to, I could take the video on Meta and then form it for Instagram and stuff because of the way that it is. So I have these glasses here.
It looks a lot different than my first gens.
Oh, these things are, now they were expensive.
Yeah.
They were extremely expensive. You're talking $400
For the extra larges.
for the extra larges because I got extra brains up in here. And I have these glasses that I absolutely love, and I got them yesterday. So I've only worn them for a short bit, but let me explain some things that I like. And I feel like Apple needs to come out with something like this.
And they are.
They need to.
Yeah.
And these work really well with Meta. So this is it looks just like your grandma's sunglasses, okay? I mean, it's you know what I'm talking about. She got it in the old bag. It's the brown case. Has a light, pairing on the back, very similar to Apple's AirPods.
Somewhat, yeah.
Yeah, so there's the USB-C, there's a light on the front, there's a button on the back. You open them up.
This is not endorsed by Apple.
This is not endorsed by Ray-Ban or Meta either. But you take them out. Here's your sunglasses or whatever you have. Sorry, I didn't throw those. And it's simple. There's 2 cameras on each side here.
There's a light indicator.
I'm going to put these things
See
on.
this? This has changed from the last series. Oh, man, yes, they've changed. There's
Alex,
a light
you have a
indicator.
pair?
I had the first gen sunglasses. I lost them. Still have the case.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, these glasses, whenever I go take a picture, and I'm going to try to put this in the mic. So if you can hear it.
You can hear it.
You guys heard that?
Wrong
Yeah.
side.
No, that's a picture.
I mean, the microphone.
Oh,
Yeah, you can hear it.
that's the
Okay.
picture, right? Now, if you're looking at this video, whenever I'm about to start recording, I just played music. Can you guys hear
Yeah.
the music?
Yes.
I'm literally, hold on. I was listening to something. Let me go to a.
Oh, it's through your phone.
That is played through my phone?
No, the glasses are connected through your
Yeah.
phone.
Yes.
It's one or
So
the
here is a very popular rap song. Can you guys hear this?
other. You can-
Can you hear it?
yes.
It's pretty cool. So you can listen to music. You can open the calls. Now, if I go to record, and I'm having a little bit of trouble, and I'm gonna take these headphones off just because
Can you do it by
they're loud.
do it by
Wait
prompt?
a second. Is this
What'd you say?
Do it by prompt. Say, hey Meta, take a video.
Hey Meta, take a video. I haven't done that.
Oh, then it's
I
not
don't
set
know
up.
if I have it set up for that. Like I said, I just got them yesterday. But if I go like this and I hold down, if you're watching this video, you can see that this light right here is on. Now these are recording. And everywhere that I look, these are going to record. It's very, very simple.
brilliant?
It's genius. I think it's smart because you want people to know, and Meta went with, they didn't have to do the light.
It's privacy security.
It's security.
Yeah.
It's so that I'm not recording you while I'm talking to you type of thing.
I can't walk into a bathroom and
Yeah, which is great. It's a genius. I don't really care for the light too much, but it's a great idea for that. This will record up to 3 minutes.
Mhm.
And I think, and I don't want to turn this about Meta Ray-Ban right now, but I do want to make sure that we understand that Apple needs to create something like this because I think it's very useful.
Well, they also adapted very well with as far as the app ecosystem in using those.
So all I have to do is I'm going to stop the recording. Recording's done. Now, because it's connected to my phone via Bluetooth, I'm going to go to the app, input it to the app from the cloud. You have to be in Wi-Fi. It's like an SD card. It's super simple, but it's through Wi-Fi. And then you just save it to your camera roll. Now, what Meta's also done is that people are starting to use these glasses a lot more for videos. They've been able to take that video, and now they've changed their platform for on Instagram and Facebook and Threads to where you can size it and it looks normal. So last night when I was posting a video and I had to adjust my font, and I think this makes me want to download the Instagram editing app now, which they just came out with.
Yeah.
Because I think it would be a lot better for that, and you can size it the proper way. So by doing that, I think there's a lot of things to play in here, and I think Apple's missing out on a piece of the pie, and I also don't like I want there to be a competitor because I don't know if these glasses are worth $400. There might be $279 glasses. I could see that, but without competitors, $600 just to buy them.
So besides creatives, who else do you think that market's for?
This,
Mhm.
definitely creatives. I don't know if this is you wear this sunglasses. These are also transitional glasses, by the way. If you go in the sun, they will turn to sunglasses. It's the only one they have that fit my head. But these sunglasses here, the other people, I would think it would be cool if you were in a meeting and take a picture. I don't know how they're kind of thick frames. But if you're somebody that normalizes and wears these, like sunglasses like these, it might just be your everyday. You put them on the charger at night when you're not wearing them. You put them in the car. It's automatically connected to USB-C. You put it in the case, they're charged.
Yep.
I don't necessarily think they're that far away. And guys, these frames are not that much larger than your typical sunglasses. Now, they're a little thicker. You'll see that. But to be entirely honest,
that's so cool looking.
Amazing. It's incredible
It
how
really is
you
brilliant. Like that is
it's
unbelievably
it's pretty insane that they were able to do this. They were able to put it into something that is affordable, that's easily to be downloaded, and they made that app so where not only iPhone users can use it, but Android can as well. So I'm gonna put this in there.
That's sweet.
Put that there.
They let the Android users use it.
Charging. I think it's a great idea. I think Apple is definitely losing out on that. I think that they're going to come out with something like that. But when Apple does come out with something like that, because Meta came out with this is several years ago now.
Yep.
So Apple's been working on it. This is in the background. They're working on it. The Vision Pro came out, somewhat flopped, but we're going to make sure that, Apple's going to make sure that when it comes out next time, or when they first put the Apple, I don't even know, Apple glasses, what they're called? Apple Glass, that it's going to be top of the line.
Yeah.
Top of the line.
I agree. Okay, so let's talk about one more thing.
Yep.
The rise and fall of, and then rise again of TikTok.
Oh,
we're back. We're back.
Sure, we're back. We were down for 12.
We are back. We are down for 12.
We were down for 12. The rise and fall of TikTok, a lot of it, without getting...
Were you expecting that? Not to be political, but were you... everybody said, don't worry, it'll be back. I'm like, that thing just doesn't happen overnight. I was wrong.
So
I'll admit.
I did not see it going down at all.
Yeah.
As well as I don't want to get CapCut. And I don't want to get political.
Yeah.
And Lemonade was down as well. I don't want to get political with it, but I will say that the United States does have something to say about it, and they want their concerns to be put up front. I don't necessarily think it's a wrong thing. I don't necessarily think they're probably fully right on it either, but they did take it down, and that was a shocker.
Yeah.
Now, being that it was taken down with everything that was happening last week, with the number one thing being Ohio State winning the national championship, we got TikTok back, right? And it was within 12 hours that next day, I saw somebody post on Facebook, TikTok's back. And I'm like, okay. Well, 3 or 4 people posted it earlier that night, and they're like, it's back up. And I was like, no, it's not. But it was back up.
You want to be the first one to do it, so just do it even if you don't know. Yeah, TikTok's back.
So when it came back up, I was like, okay, cool. And I don't think they're going away from much of anything. I think they will have to make a negotiation with the U.S., whether that's partial ownership of the U.S. or there's somebody in the U.S. that owns it. There's a lot of money at stake.
I think Microsoft is in talks with it right now.
Microsoft, I
know there's a lot of things behind it, and I'm kind of dumb when it comes to that, whole piece of it. But to be bluntly honest, but do you imagine building strictly Apple from the ground up, and then a government someday tells you got to sell that?
Just put the kibosh on it.
If I want to be totally honest here,
from a personal level,
if my business ever got to the way that the government had to get involved in it, I would have probably sold it 20 years ago. Like there's I've probably already cashed out.
But honestly,
it's insane.
Yeah, like from a personal level.
And this is 5 years. This business is a 5-year-old. Within the past 5 years, this business has taken off. And I know Musically was a thing back then too. But I would say,
if you know what that is, you're an OG.
Like that was
I used MySpace.
There's a reason that's dead.
Thing.
Yeah,
totally different.
Now, I think TikTok will be. I think they're gonna have to do something, because when it comes to, I heard President Trump say the other day that with the U.S. TikTok is worth a lot more.
Yeah,
which it's very hard to argue that. So I think that they are gonna have to make some negotiation, because it's worth millions, tens of millions, without the U.S., but it could potentially be worth billions, trillions with the U.S. So do you take a piece of the pie, or do you take half? Or you take a whole small pie, or do you take half of a large pie?
What makes TikTok better than Instagram?
Man, I would say,
it's a hot debate.
I think, first of all, I think a lot of people like using TikTok just because it's not meta. There's a lot of meta haters. Yeah. Not everybody likes you, Mark. I hate to say it, but not everybody likes Mark Zuckerberg. And people like to use TikTok, but I also think TikTok was the first platform for Reels and Shorts. So I think everybody's used to that. Now, I'll even find myself, I'm not there on YouTube yet, but I find myself maybe scrolling on Instagram with some Shorts on there.
A lot of people are favorite Instagram Reels.
TikTok. And with the idea of Instagram and Facebook being one, and now with even Threads, it's sort of a universe. I know people are not going to like this, but I was somewhat okay if there was a chance that Facebook acquired TikTok. I think it would be cool. And the only reason I say that is so that I can post all my videos at once. We can post our videos at one time versus post them in multi-different platforms. I think you would agree with that as well. Yeah. But there needs to be competition, and you don't want everything monopolized by Meta, which, you're starting to get there, because they do own, out of the 5 major platforms, I'll throw Threads in there because that was one of the #1 downloads last year. Threads, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. That's the 5 major social. Pinterest might be up there too. But out of those, they own a majority of them.
If you had to get rid of, as we're going out here, if you had to get rid of one, two platforms today, off the face of the earth, you never get them back.
X, I don't care about.
Okay.
Oh, that's
don't tell Elon that.
I just don't use it, but I also don't use Threads. So I would say X, and then, Pinterest, I don't care about either.
That wasn't part of it.
Out of the what? Out of the YouTube
the
Threads?
One you named, yeah. You just throwing ones in there that it didn't even count.
I would probably try to keep. I would get rid of Threads, and I would get rid of maybe even YouTube. But I love looking at YouTube tutorials. Or like YouTube when we go on vacation somewhere, I'll be like looking up where we're going.
Yeah.
So like I've already been there. Sometimes I do that in places I can't afford, so that I don't have to go.
My name is Alex.
I'm Landon.
And I'm Jonathan.
And we'll catch you guys on the next episode.
Thanks
for
to you soon.
watching.